Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, The Lens India Professional Photography and this series of Mastering Lightroom CC. In our today's video, we'll be covering the topic about the book module. That is where we will be learning how to create the catalogs or the book which normally we may require to create for our clients, or maybe like something like a coffee table book or like that. So right now I'm in the library module and I have already done the preparations by putting all the images into the collections. So I have already made a video about the collections, which is the fourth video on this Mastering Lightroom CC, and I'll paste the link of that video in in the description. So you may have a look at that video again if you want to do this preparation. So the prerequisite to prepare a book in the book module is better to have the collections created in the Lightroom beforehand. So let's quickly now go to the book module. So once we have the collections done over here, so we can go to the book module. And before we start creating a book, so once you are on the book module, you will get on the menu bar the book. You can set the book preferences. These are the settings. So you have two options over here: zoom to fill and zoom to fit. So usually when we are creating the book, we don't want our images to get cropped. So it is better to select zoom to fit. Then you have autofill options. So the moment this option is enabled, and the images are taken in the collections and we switch to the book module, so automatically the book will get created. So which we don't want this autofilling to happen unless we do some basic selections of the format. Then the last option is about the text options. How do we want this text to be filled? So we have these options. We should whether we should have a filler text, title with metadata, caption metadata, or file name metadata. So depending on your intent, we can select the options which are available here, and then we should ensure that this is checkmark constraint captions to text safe area. So what does it mean? So that means that when we are going to put any text, so we need to ensure that whatever the text is being seen on the layout, that will get printed when the book is printed. So that is why this should be enabled. Now, having said that, all the images you can see in the film strip, all the images are lined up. So I have lined up the images based on the front cover page, back cover page, and the photos which should we are going to create the book. So now on the right hand side of this panel, you will see many tabs over here, right from the book settings till the background. So we will see one by one. So let's go to the book setting. So in book setting, you will see that there are once you open up this, you have the blurb photo book, blurb magazine, and blurb trademark book. So these three options are basically, blurb is the company which is partnering with the Lightroom for ordering the books to be printed based on our requirements. So we may order the photo book, we may order the magazine, we may order the trade book, and so on and so forth. So suppose if we select the blurb photo book, you will see that you will get various options over here. So, and also what is the estimated price of that book per book, what is going to be printed. So we can have also different sizes available here. We can select the size based on our requirement. So then we can even select the type of the cover what we want. Then we can select the paper type what we want. And see now again whether you want the logo or you don't want the logo. Now this logo is not our own individual logo, but this logo is of the blurb company. So whether if you want, so suppose if I enlarge this, you will be able to see that there is a logo coming up, and if you turn it off, no, then none, then the logo will vanish. And the moment you do the selection, you will see that there is an increase in the price. So many a times we may not require this logo, so that is why it is better to select it none, because if you are going to give it to the client, then we may not require this logo. But of course, particularly when we are talking about this blur photo book in India, we usually don't prefer these options. So I'll directly jump to the PDF. So PDF, again, suppose if you want this book to be printed in the PDF format, so this can be selected and we can export this PDF once the layout is finalized. Then we again have different sizes, like what we have seen for the blur book. We can select the sizes right from the small 7" by 7" till 8.5 to 11". And again 6:9 or 5:8. So whatever size what we want, we will be able to select the sizes depending on our requirement. Again, then the color profile, it will ask for us what should be the color profile, what should be the DPI, how much sharpening is required, and what type of paper we are going to use, whether we are going to use the matte paper or glossy paper, so we can select accordingly. So you might have experienced that when we are selecting the blur related options, and PDF or maybe the JPEG also will be the same, so the options for this paper gets limited. So that is the another change what we can experience over here. So again, like PDF, we can select the JPEG. We also again have different sizes available here. Type of cover what we want. The quality we can select right from ranging from 1 to 100. Color profile we can select sRGB, display P3, Adobe RGB, or Profoto RGB. So usually, since we are going to if we are going to print in a normal lab, so we prefer to have it sRGB. Sharpening we can keep it standard, and paper type or the media type what we can select based on our requirement, that is matte or glossy. So for this demonstration purpose, let's do this type of selections. So these are the settings what we can do before we create the layout. Then next is about the auto layout. So now you can now if you see that since we have disabled the auto filling, so nothing has been created over here, and the moment you click on the auto layout, you will see that the layout is getting generated, and in a while we will see the overall layout of the book. So now you can see the layout is completely ready. It has auto populated all the images in the Lightroom. So this is how the layout will get created. So as I have mentioned that I have already ordered this in the serial number, what the way I want to be laid in this particular format. So the first is the cover page, or the front cover is there, and if you see when I am going to the last photo is on the back cover, and in between we have so many products which are getting lined up. So the views, about the views of this particular layout, if you see, if I go to this view, currently I am in this view, and to go into this view, the shortcut key is Control plus E or Command plus E. If you want to change the layout, you can press Command plus R or Control plus R. So immediately the layout will get changed. If you want to go to another type of layout, we can press Command plus T or Control plus T, and you will get a different type of layout for a single page. So right now we are in this page, and we can increase or decrease the size of the thumbnails what we usually see. So you can go to this size, and you will see how the images are being laid out in this particular book what we have created. So now once this is done, we can go to the next tab and see what are the rest of the settings we can do in this. So I'll just little bit enlarge the view so that we can okay, so we can see what I am going to do. Okay, so now if you want to have the page numbers, you can enable this, and you will see that the page numbers are getting populated over here, and you can have these page numbers on at the bottom of the corners. You can go to the top of the corners. You can go to the top, that is in the center. You can go to the side like this, or you can go to the bottom middle also. So based on your layout, the photos what you have selected, you can select the appropriate position. So Right now I'll prefer to have it bottom corner. Again, once this location of this page number is being selected, so you can select the display pattern. So whether you want the page number to be displayed on both the pages, then you can select left and right. If you want to have it only on the left page, you can select this option and you will see only the page number is appearing only on the left hand side. If you want it to on the right only, then the page number will be seen over here. So usually depending on the photos what we are using or the size what we are using, we can select the appropriate option. Then again, for each individual page what we want, we have different options. If you click on this drop down, so you can have 1 photo per page, 2 photo per page, you can have 3 photo per page, and you'll see that while we are clicking on different options, we are getting the suggestions for the different types of layouts available over here. So if you have multiple photos, like example, you can have this option selected over here. If you again select for some different option, again this will be the layout what will be selecting. If you want 2 photos, so again you will see the option is changing. So you have the facility to add one more photo over here. So since we are right now targeting only 1 photo per page, we can go with this option for the demonstration purpose. If you feel that after the photos have been finalized, if you feel that we need to add the pages to change the layout, we can add the pages by clicking on the add pages, or add blank pages, which will be a complete blank page, and then we can further decide upon the page layout whatever we want. So this was about the page tab. Then the guides. Now these guides basically will help you to basically align the photos the way you want. The moment I enable this, you'll see that the different types of uh, uh, lines we are getting. So the text safe area. So if you see that there is a small or thin gray line which is coming when I am clicking this text safe area. So that means whatever we need to basically include, we need to include within this particular boundary, because beyond this boundary it won't get printed. So text safe area. So if the text is to be put in, the text is to be put in within this boundary itself. So these are just the guidelines. So we can get a grid or we can keep it off also. So and you can disable it in totality. Then the next tab is about the cells. So if you want any padding to be done, you can do the padding the way you want to do the padding in your layout. Then we can add the borders to the photo also. So you can even select the color whatever you want. So this normally comes as a monochromatic color palette, but the moment you click the dropper here, you will be able to see the color, and you can see the lines whatever you want to put it as a border. So you can select the border for each page you want, and even you can increase the size of the border or decrease the size of the border. So this is the way you basically design page by page. So once this cell is done, then we can also add the text whatever we want. Okay, so now if you disable this, you will see that in particularly in this area, you will see that the text vanishes or text appears if we enable this. And you can even offset this, or you can align the location of the text depending on where you want to put it. And if this is check mark align with photo, this will be exactly below the photo. If you disable it, it will go to the place where its default location will be there. So it is always better to align with the photos if you don't want this to be getting cropped in the printing. So say this is the safest way. And again, you have options where you want to put this text. You want to put it on the top, you want to put it over the image, or you want to put it below the image. So these are the locations where you can select based on your requirement. The next is a page text. So page text is something where you want to add some information, and again you can align the where you want to put this location of this text. You can put it on the top, you can put it on the bottom. So these are the things what we can do with this text options. The next is text type. So what type of text are we going to have over here? So you have, when you explore this, you have various options in the text style preset. So you can select the captions form, you can select the title form, so you can see the changes which are happening over here. You can select the title serif, you can select the title weddings depending on your liking, and you can customize the text the way you want. And at the same time, you also have different font options which are available. You can pick up any of the fonts as per your liking. You want it light, light italic, regular italic, bold italic, or something like that, depending on the requirement. You can even change the color of your text. So you can just, whatever based on your requirement, you can select the color. You can increase or decrease the size of this text. At the same time, you can also increase or decrease the opacity of the text in the way you want. Tracking, you can do it based on your liking. So these are about the text, what you can say over here. And once this is done, even you can align left, you can align center, you can align right side, you can justify the way you want the last line or whatever it is, up, middle, down. So right now we are exactly in the middle, so it is not going to show you any impact over here. And after this, suppose if you want any background to be applied on this particular page, you can apply the background. So just enable this. If you go here, you have three options. If you have any particular photo to be kept as a background, you can drag and drop the photo here so that that photo will appear in the background. Then you have, if you go to the travel, you will have so many options which are available over here. If you go to the weddings, you will have some design available here. So now, just for demonstration purpose, let's select this as a design. Now you will see that the design has come up over here, and you can even assign some colors to this design by clicking on the particular color, the color what you are looking at. You can see how the color is changing over here. So it is becoming darker based on where we are taking our cursor. So once that color is selected, you can make it darker the way we want. Then if you want to apply any background color also, you can apply the background color. So let's pick up some color over here, and let's select the color of what you would like to see on that particular page. So you can certainly drag and you can decide. So just for this purpose, we will select this. So now this has been particularly done. We have created our the page layout, and now suppose if you want to edit this text, you can select and edit this text as a product catalog, for example, and it's done. So now if you want to move it, you can just by dragging the dialog box, you can just drag it, and again you can go to the rest of the images. You will see that whatever background you have selected, it got applied to all the images over here. So since about the only text we have worked on one of the page, so that will probably occur only on the particular page and not on the all pages. So depending on what we want, we can really we can add the text on each page independently. So again, going back to the text cell, so we can just, which I forgot to mention. So we have again different options over the way we want to put the text. One is the captions, whether we want to put the custom text, whether we want to put the date. So you can see the changes which are happening. So just give me a moment. I'll just enlarge the size of the text. So while enlarging, you just have to select all and then enlarge the size of this. and maybe now you can add the custom text, you can add the date, you can add the equipment name, whatever equipment you have used. You can control this this overall size the way you want, and maybe you can also add the information about your exposure, your file name, or maybe the sequence, whatever of the photo sequence it is in the series. You can add the title depending on your requirement, or you can even have, once you go to edit, you can have different types of presets what you can create for this. So for this demonstration purpose, let's keep this equipment details available here. So each individual page will have to go, and we'll have to accordingly add the the information or the text whatever is required on each page. So this is how we select the each page and do the editing, and the book is ready for now to print. So once you are sure that everything is uh, now ready for the printing, you can now go to the export book to then and you can click the OK. You can go to the desired location wherever you want and you can save it as my catalog, and the catalog will get created. So now if you go on the desktop, you will see that the catalog is getting created over here for each page. So this is the catalog cover, you will see. Then you can go one by one, each page you will be able to see the page by page. So this is how the overall book is created. You can simply create a coffee table book or a product catalog for your clients, which can be very simple, but at the same time which can be very elegant also. So that's all for now in this particular video. So in our next video we'll be covering about the slideshow. The slideshow also works in a very similar way the book module works, but definitely this book module took little bit longer time to explain, and since slideshows also will have the similar concept, so it may not take that much time to explain. So thank you for watching this video till end. So if you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel and hit the like button. This helps me to create more videos, and I am really motivated to share more and more information to all my viewers based on your support. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye for now.